If you've been told you have early-stage kidney changes, stage 1 to 3A, this video is for you. And if you haven't been told that yet, but you want to avoid getting there, keep watching. Because what I'm about to explain is the part most people never hear. Most people panic, open Google, and end up more confused than before. I want to calm that down right now. And before you scroll away, let me say this clearly. The biggest risk to your kidneys is not what you think it is. I'll explain that in a moment. First, let's talk about the real problem. People are overwhelmed with information. One article says, stop eating protein. Another says, protein doesn't matter. One video says, avoid potassium. Another says, potassium is essential. Some recommend extreme diets, detoxes, or supplements. Others say, do nothing, and just monitor. Most of this information has no clear source, no context, and no explanation of who it actually applies to, so people guess. And guessing is how kidneys get damaged quietly over time. Here's what usually happens. Someone is told, your kidney numbers are a little off. They hear words like early changes, stage 2, or we'll keep an eye on it. And then they go home without a clear plan. They don't know what to stop doing. They don't know what foods actually matter. They don't know if protein is dangerous. They don't know whether potassium or phosphorus should be restricted. They don't know which painkillers are risky. They don't know which lab numbers matter and which ones don't. So they either ignore it and hope for the best, or they overreact and restrict everything. Both approaches create stress, and stress does not protect kidneys. Now here's something most people don't realize. Early-stage kidney changes are not a life sentence. For most people in stage 1 to 3A, kidney function can remain stable for many years. Some people never progress at all. But here's the key point, and this is important, so stay with me. Kidney damage in early stages usually doesn't come from one dramatic mistake. It comes from small, repeated stressors, things like hidden sodium, poor blood pressure control, dehydration, frequent use of certain painkillers, poor sleep, inconsistent daily routines. These things don't feel dangerous, but over time, they quietly strain the kidneys. The good news is this: these are things you can influence. Let me give you a few examples, and then I'll show you why most people still struggle, even after hearing advice like this. First, sodium. Most people think, I don't add salt, so I'm fine. But most sodium does not come from the salt shaker. It comes from bread, sauces, packaged foods, and restaurant meals. A food does not need to taste salty to contain a lot of sodium. If you do just one thing today, read the sodium on one food label. That single habit alone can reduce kidney stress more than most people realize. Second, painkillers. Medications like ibuprofen and naproxen reduce blood flow to the kidneys. Occasional use may be appropriate for some people, but frequent or casual use is one of the most common and preventable causes of kidney injury. This is something many people don't find out until damage has already occurred. Third, lab results. One kidney lab result does not define your future. Kidney health is assessed by trends over time, not a single number. Hydration, illness, exercise, and even lab variation can affect results. Understanding which numbers actually matter removes a huge amount of unnecessary fear. Now pause for a moment. If these things were enough, most people would be fine. But here's where people still get stuck. They hear advice like this, but they still don't have a system. They don't know what to eat day to day without overthinking. They don't know how to build meals safely. They don't know how to read food labels quickly. They don't know how to eat out without harming their kidneys. They don't know how to track labs calmly. They don't know how to structure a normal day that supports kidney health. And most importantly, they don't know which information online is actually trustworthy. This is where confusion turns into inaction. And this is exactly why I created the Kidney Health Playbook. Everything in this playbook is grounded in guidance from well-established medical organizations, including the National Kidney Foundation, KDI-GO Clinical Practice Guidelines, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the American Heart Association, along with peer-reviewed research published over the past decade. But here's the difference. This information is not presented like a medical paper. It's translated into clear, practical, everyday steps. You don't need to become a kidney expert. You don't need to memorize numbers. You don't need to follow extreme rules. This playbook shows you what to stop doing, what to start doing, how to eat without fear, how to reduce kidney stress over 30 days, how to understand lab numbers calmly, how to shop for food, how to eat out, and how to live a normal life while protecting your kidneys. It's the plan most people wish they had when they first heard, "Your kidney numbers are a little off." If you're serious about your health, I highly recommend it. For the price of a few coffees, you're not buying information. You're buying clarity. You're buying structure. You're buying a way to stop guessing. If you go through the Kidney Health Playbook, apply what's inside to your daily life, and genuinely feel that it didn't give you clarity or value, there's no risk. You're covered by a 90-day money-back guarantee. That gives you enough time to read it properly, apply it calmly, and decide for yourself. Educating yourself with credible, well-explained guidance is one of the most powerful ways to protect your kidneys. Below this video, you'll find the full Kidney Health Playbook.